welcome to the Blizzard Arena.
And the quest for a champion begins today.
The anticipation has been building, and it is finally time. We are live.
Are you ready?
That is a really...
Can you get over the roof there?
Oh my.
Oh my, what a play, what a grab!
Another jump here off the high ground. Super goes forward, but gets stuck up. The EMP comes in, and ding, he rains down hell from above.
Here comes Pine. Gets one, gets two. Looking for a bit more, gets another one.
Tuno's down again. That heralds disaster generally for the Fusion, and Carpe wasn't far behind. Prophet, he's killed 4 players now on his own.
From Vancouver, locks him in the sound barrier. Sound is huge. The bomb coming in from John. Oh my God, he does it again.
Flutter now moving onto the Widowmaker, taking the clutch into his own hands. The headshot after headshot after headshot.
Okay, I like this for the Gladiators. We're going to try and circle around. I'm going to call this the merry-go-round because it makes me laugh. Makes me happy, and Sean Paul switches to the Widowmaker at just the right time.
Oh, the Gravy, the block.
What in the Lord's name is that?
That's so good. Oh, that's the
I'm a best tracer in the world.
Oh my word.
I mean, you could have told me that you spoke English, honestly.
The fans never thought they'd see this day. It took 43 matches. Feels like a really emotional moment here.
Sorry.
All right. So, welcome to another live stream of, talking about Acolyte and other things Disney and other companies have decided to royally fuck up. So we're gonna first just welcome in anybody who is joining. Okay, do you like it? Do you like the Acolyte? Is that what you're telling me? Nah, Grinnell likes the Acolyte. Yeah. How do you feel? How do you feel if I tell people you like the Acolyte? But we're going to talk about it. Give me a sec. Alright, let's interact to this video, talk about Acolyte, some other crap. Yeah, it's not my treasure. Honestly, I don't know. I've only talked to one person who generally liked it, and it wasn't because of to try to cope or try to defend because people like us hate it. I've only met one genuine, but even he talked about like, oh, there's hate, harassment. I'm like, no, there's not. Okay, we're gonna react to this video, and we're gonna show some other stuff.
She ignites the lightsaber and backs him against the mouth of the cave, holding it to his throat. Her anguished eyes stare at him unfocused. Pressed against him, she meets his sympathetic gaze. He gently takes hold of her arm, the red blade still throbbing right in front of his throat. Osha gazes deeply into his eyes.
How does it feel?
Oh no, Gary.
Greetings, you over 1 million Hellions and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. The Force's female has come full cycle. Back on April 22nd of 2020, when it was announced that former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland, will be heading a Star Wars project.
I just try to treat everything as if we're on RuPaul's Drag Race.
I wonder why.
Us at the time speculated it would be an intersectional feminist fever dream, focusing more on identity politics than actually crafting a story.
Yes.
Devolving into mystery box bullshit, which is a cheap way.
Okay, how is that racist? How? How is that racist?
Of circumventing characterization and narrative, with the added bonus of on-brand Disney Star Wars lore destruction, jingling key cameos, and fan attacks. And now, well over 4 years later, it's been confirmed. The Acolyte is indeed an intersectional feminist fever dream that focused more on identity politics rather than crafting a story that devolved into mystery box bullshit, which circumvented characterization and narrative, with a healthy serving of that on-brand Disney Star Wars lore destruction.
So they followed J.J. Abrams? I killed you, though.
Key jingling cameos and fan attacks. So let's get to episode 8 of The Acolyte, called The Acolyte.
How original.
On The Acolyte.
In the best parts about Star Wars is there is no good or evil. It depends on what side you're standing on.
I feel like Star Wars is very like patriarchal, so it was kind of.
Oh, I know. Why do you think he doesn't have one yet?
Cool to have like this sort of woman-centered figure.
People have told me that it's the game of Star Wars, and I'm frankly into it.
I carried them. I created them.
It's pretty good. Let's be honest.
Oh my gosh.
You can't look and see that Anakin blowing up the Death Star possibly killed millions and millions of people. I'm gonna get in trouble for saying.
You should just shut up.
It's
You
just
should
like,
shut up. I
but
love
that
you.
is,
You
but
should
that
shut
is
up.
the beauty of this story.
Are you people f***ing retarded?
But the Jedi like you might call
Yes.
me Sith.
I can't help but feel partially responsible.
I think it's canon that R2-D2 is a lesbian.
The power of I dropped a diss track.
Yeah, and it was trash.
That's what I heard.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
You get nauseous when you travel through hyperspace?
I don't get sick. I find it unsettling.
That doesn't make sense.
I cannot see. I'm legally blind.
We open up directly following the events of episode 6, which was followed by the flashback episode 7, which was essentially a repeat of the flashback episode 3. We last saw a diverse non-binary female protagonist putting on a helmet, and wouldn't you know it, she has a vision of diverse non-binary antagonist who was briefly a protagonist, who is now back to being an antagonist, killing that guy from Squid Game, and she knows where they'll be later in the episode.
How convenient.
And because The Acolyte is somewhere between a CW show and the worst kind of 14-year-old girl fan fiction written as a coloring book,
Hey, a CW show, at least has more respect for their characters than this show. And fan fiction is insult to the show because, at least you have to be a fan for it to be fan fiction. I've decided to label this show as hate fiction because it's made by people who hate Star Wars and made a show that's insulting the very nature of Star Wars. So I'm labeling it as hate fiction, not fan fiction. These are not fans.
Wang, who wants to kill both the guy from Squid Game and the diverse non-binary antagonist who's briefly a protagonist who's now back to being an antagonist, and diverse non-binary protagonist who wants to stop diverse non-binary antagonist.
Yeah, that's why I say it's not fan fiction. Like I've read some really bad ones, but at least they still respect the characters they're writing for. And these characters, most of them are made up, first off. Second off, it's kind of hard to make fan fiction if you're not a fan of the thing you're making fiction of. Like, calling it fan fiction is being nice. I mean, it's kind of an insult to people who actually write it. Because at least they are fans of the stuff they're writing. Which is why I've decided to call it hate fiction and not fan fiction.
Who was briefly a protagonist who's now back to being an antagonist from killing that guy from Squid Game. Decide to go together in the same ship.
With what ship? I'm taking mine.
You're going where exactly? I've seen where they are.
So we go together and see who gets to her first.
And you may or may not remember that the last time we saw a diverse non-binary antagonist who was briefly a protagonist who's now back to being an antagonist, and that guy from Squid Game, he had her restrained on a bed. Right, what you know, Leslie. Anyway, that guy from Squid Game was finally going to reveal the truth that he had been teasing all season.
I'll explain everything. I'll explain. It's time for me to face the High Council, to tell everything.
Everything?
So you're going to listen. You and Ocean are not twins. You're not even sisters. You're...
Good thing we watched the last episode, which was essentially a rehash of the third episode, which basically confirmed that diverse non-binary antagonist who was briefly a protagonist, who's now back to being an antagonist, set a fire in the highly flammable stone structure, killing the remaining coven of lesbian space witches that Moss Windu didn't kill when they possessed Kelnaka. And Sol can't help it if he's retarded and some lesbian space witch rematerialized around his lightsaber. What he is guilty of is having inappropriate connections to a youngling. But as it goes with mystery box storytelling, the audience has to wait for the uninteresting main character or characters to catch up with them. You know, it's too bad the Jedi Master Sol didn't think to remove the plot convenience from his captive. And the diverse non-binary
Sol did nothing wrong.
The antagonist, who was briefly a protagonist, who's back to being an antagonist, gets away. It's barely an inconvenience. Nice helmet, by the way. But when that guy from Squid Game has diverse non-binary antagonist, who was briefly a protagonist, who's now an antagonist in his sights, Space Beaver sabotages him.
Whoop-de-doo!
What does it all mean, Basil?
Diverse non-binary protagonist had the aforementioned vision and took Lil Wang with her. Diverse non-binary antagonist, who was briefly a protagonist, who's back to being an antagonist, crashes relatively close to the highly flammable stone structure. And that guy from Squid Game turns on his transponder, and the Jedi receive it. But there is one small scene worth mentioning because it wouldn't be an episode of The Acolyte without Leslie Headland taking George Lucas's lore to Harvey's couch. Oh, I've used that one too much already. How about Dave Filoni taking George Lucas's lore to the doghouse? Because it happened, folks. They plagueist.
Well, he was supposed to be he was part of the Jedi, but for some reason he decided to sabotage Soul's ship because I guess he sensed that Soul was a bad person for killing May's mom because he thought he was trying to do something bad to her as a child. Do you see how ridiculous this all sounds?
You ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
You may think it's about the Sith Lord being betrayed and killed by his apprentice Palpatine, but in
No.
truth, he was arrested for stalking after being caught watching a young Asian man sleep in a cave on an island. At this point, Disney Analytics dictates there needs to be some action and lightsabers. And after diverse non-binary protagonist is somehow able to hotwire a door in a combustible stone structure where 16 years previous
Shouldn't the electronics for that door just not work anymore if it's been 16 years? Am I crazy?
the generators blew up, we get Smilo Ren versus that guy from Squid Game in Crouching Patriarchy and Hidden Misogyny.
Liu Kang. Liu Kang. Fight!
I'm such a big guy!
Intercut with the matchup, 5s and
Maybe I'm being too generous for this.
tens of people were waiting for when diverse non-binary antagonist, who was previously a protagonist who's now back to being an antagonist, tells diverse non-binary protagonist that that guy from Squid Game killed their mom. It leads to a Disney Star Wars first, some sister on sister action, and it went down something like this.
Maybe.
But in all seriousness, we did almost get some scissoring. And Smilo Ren pulled out his Little Wang. That guy from Squid Game gets the best of Smilo Ren, and then we get a double heel turn. And I hope you're all keeping track at home because, quite frankly, I'm having trouble. Diverse non-binary antagonist, who was previously a protagonist, who's now back to being an antagonist, saves Smilo Ren from that guy from Squid Game.
By kicking his knees?
This is the point where Disney Analytics dictates it's time to repurpose something from the real Star Wars.
Your hate has made you powerful. Fulfill your destiny.
Never.
Well, screw that. This is better.
Good, May. Feel your anger. This is the source of your pain. Strike them down, and your journey will be complete.
No.
So now it's diverse non-binary.
How does a lightsaber hilt break that easily?
Protagonist who was formerly an antagonist, who was formerly a protagonist, who was formerly an antagonist.
But wait! There's more!
Then diverse non-binary protagonist shows up and that guy from Squid Game admits he killed her mom.
And you killed her. You killed our mother.
Yes, I did.
Is that true?
Turning diverse non-binary protagonist into, you guessed it, diverse non-binary antagonist who was formerly a protagonist. And this brings us to what is undoubtedly a big W for DEI, a Disney Star Wars milestone. The first black female to identify as non-binary to force choke an Asian man, whose last words are, "I love you."
I did everything because I love.
The thing is, he was the best part of the show. At the start of the show, he was probably the only decent character, and they made him into maybe retarded, a PDF, and just lame. He's probably. Even though he was, that's what they made him into. He's still the only probably good actor in this entire show, and of course they have to make the best actor and the only well-known actor in the show. Terrible person.
Disney, I'm sure you're aware you have a bit of a reputation right now with the way your company acts and what you put into your scripts, and with something like this, it's really hard to argue that. Anyway, that guy from Squid Game says it's okay to kill him now.
He wanted out of this show. Yeah, he's the only. He's also. He's the only well-known one. The ironic. I checked this up. Ironically, yeah, he had to learn English. Reminder: he's from a country that speaks a different alphabet and set of syllables and all that. So he had to learn English. He's the only well-known actor as well. I did check that the three most Disney failures all have a Korean actor in it, or a K-drama. You have Eternals, who had that, but yeah, he just learned the words. The lines is basically. He understands English, but he can't speak it. But the thing is, Eternals had one, the Marvels had one, and this show they all have had a Korean actor, and they've all been insanely disappointments. Yeah, he just learned the lines he had to speak. Yeah, it's just like I learned phrases in another language, therefore I can speak I can speak the language since I learned those phrases.
I better use my strong hand.
Killing without a weapon.
Fatality. Then diverse non-binary protagonist who was previously an antagonist, who was previously a protagonist, who was previously an antagonist, smirks. And this is where things get shockingly stupid. Anakin's turned to the dark side and revenge.
It wasn't already shockingly stupid? That's a high bar. That's a bar.
The Sith was downright arduous compared to this. Diverse non-binary antagonist who was formerly a protagonist force chokes a Jedi with no training, bleeds on her kyber crystal, which turns her lightsaber red.
That's not how bleeding works. You have to. I'll discuss this after.
Red. That's red.
Girls get it done.
That not so anticipated reveal of who is Smilo Ren's master, while we find out it's Jedi Master.
It was predictable. We all knew it.
Nepo in a basic line of dialogue. You're alive. And I can hear you now, dear viewer. They're obviously setting up a confrontation between Smilo Ren, the twins, Jedi Master Nepo, and our Jedi Corps of cosplayers, and Darth Plagueis. And Plagueis killing everyone because that's the only way you can justify the Jedi not knowing about the Sith and lesbian space witches who use the Force to conceive twins without a father. You sweet summer children, there you go again trying to make sense. Nope, Smilo Ren runs away with the twins. And instead of doubling his pleasure, the idiot mind wipes May and sends her back to the Jedi. No confrontation, no Darth Plagueis. The Acolyte ends with a series of meetings, and we find out who the true villain is. Besides Kathleen Kennedy and former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland. No, it's her wife, Jedi Master Nepo, who not only covers up the existence of the twins and her former Padawan has gone to the Sith. Jedi Master Nepo covers up the previous Jedi cover-up by framing Sol as the murderer of all the Jedi with this line, which also expresses exactly how Disney feels about George Lucas's Star Wars.
Well, this is a terrible tragedy. It was the work of one flawed man.
And this show is the work of one flawed woman. When in doubt, blame the man who did nothing wrong. This is the point where Disney Analytics dictates there needs to be another pointless cameo.
Sorry to disturb you, Master. We need to talk.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
So what's Jedi Master Nepo gonna say here? Yeah, Master Yoda, there was this coven of lesbian space witches who conceived twins without a father that died mysteriously at the hands of some Jedi who covered it up, and then those Jedi were murdered along with a dozen others, directly or indirectly at the hands of my former Padawan, and I framed an innocent man for some of those murders? Or is she just gonna ask for some vacation time to take care of the one loose end? Whack Basil. And this scenario creates a lot of questions. Is Yoda complicit? Does he know about these cover-ups? And does he know about the Sith, and has he been lying? Or is he a clueless idiot that leads to 50 more questions? And then I remembered,
I don't care.
I could go on, but I won't. The Acolyte is the worst Star Wars ever made, the worst Disney Star Wars ever made, and it's everything Kathleen Kennedy wanted, replacing heroism and masculinity with moral relativism, replacing talent with activists, and big shocker, it doesn't work. So ends the derivative fanfic forces female fever dream. The Acolyte is over, and so is Disney Star Wars, but inexplicably, they don't know it yet.
Ergorotic.com.
If you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like what you heard, thank you for listening to this one. I will see you in the next video.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Yoda is part of the show now. Sorry, Taco. I think this tweet sums it up very perfectly, though. I think that's a good explanation for what this show is. Wait, I didn't share it. My bad. Okay, there it is. I think that, yeah, it's a mess. But I think this picture from Theory in his comment section perfectly explains Star Wars now. That we now are begging characters to not be in shows because we don't want them to be ruined anymore. Like, okay, so, first thing, bleeding, that's not how bleeding works. Bleeding, you have to hold the crystal physically, crystal not in the lightsaber, and use anger or maybe torture or kill somebody for it to bleed. And also, Soul did nothing wrong, just in case that was in question. Soul was not, like, what do you expect him to do when you see a lesbian space witch basically look like Shadow, and the little girl is also Shadow? You're gonna try to prevent the problem. And also, that's her fault from rematerializing around the lightsaber. That's her fault for doing that, so can't blame her for that one. Okay, yeah. I mean, it's a mess. Like, this is the basically final nail for Star Wars. Yeah. Dang it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what did you think? What was he supposed to do when he sees her basically transform into what looks like a demon or Shadow, and also May, who was also there, was also started to have Shadow around her? What are you expecting to do? What are you expecting him to do? Just stand there and do nothing? And also, the bleeding Palpatine in the show, Plagueis, who should not be there. I mean, yeah. I mean, he also, after that, he didn't try to fight the other mom, and the other mom possessed the Wookiee, so who's really at fault in that situation? I would say it's the Space Witch's fault. Not Soul. Soul, man, they made him into a creep, but that's Leslie writing what she knows, which is creepos, I guess. So, okay, to ease your minds, we're going to watch a 1-minute clip of something as a palate cleanse.
존경하는 국민 여러분, 저는 오늘 제 인생에 있어서 가장 슬프고 안타까운 소식을 들었습니다.
There will be a planned crash. If you don't stop that plane now.
네, 팀장님. 방금 수상한 제보 전화가...
어떻게 된 거야?
내 조카가 왜 죽어야 되는 건데 왜?
덮어. 보안검열입니다. 고마 다들 자리에서 일러주이소.
211명이나 죽었습니다. 대체 왜 수사를 안 한다는 건지.
이거 뭔가 이상하지 않습니까?
왜 아무 죄도 없는 사람들 죽는 건데?
그 사람들, 무서운 사람들.
또 누가 보냈어? 도대체 누가 그딴 짓을 벌이는 건지, 누가 했을까가 아니라 왜 했을까?
비행기를 추락시켰으면 이유가 있을 거 아니야. 내 암만 짱구로 굴려가도 모르겠다.
누군데 우리를 죽였어?
왜 궁금하셨습니까?
Okay, that was 4 years ago, but still. Okay, honestly, watching that, why watching the Acolyte? Yeah, they did. They did. They did. They caused that. But watching now, watching the Acolyte, it's actually very similar, but actually executed properly. Like, that show had a mystery of who was behind, obviously, if you watched it, the plane crash, and actually there are twists that was not predictable. Like, so that's a way, like an actual murder mystery, but with also government with the way that was done compared to how the Acolyte did it, it's night and day. I mean, this show had like multiple twists within it, and it was actually like showed that the government as kind of the bad guys. They could have done this with Acolyte, where they showed the Jedi as bad, but in a way that doesn't outright make them look like terrible people, like what they actually did. Where, yeah, what they actually did instead. But this one's kind of depressing to watch. But we're gonna watch it.
I'm Deadpool's roommate.
This one's gonna be depressing to watch, but we're gonna watch it anyway.
Wind down.
As some... Oh, thank God it's over. I'm genuinely happy that it's over. I hope we don't get a season 2. My breakdown is gonna rip this goddamn show pieces, and not because there's any vendetta. I wish it was good. I wish it was, fun like The Mandalorian, but because it just is so full of shit.
I think my comment is pretty accurate, though. I have to give Star Wars credit. They made me angry for a show where at the point I was with Star Wars, I complete in utter apathy, and they still managed to make me mad. So I gotta give credit to Leslie and Star Wars Lucasfilm. You made me angry for something I did not care about, or didn't really have any emotional attachment to at this point. So I gotta give you credit to that one. That's the only thing you get.
Fulfill your destiny.
Okay, before we start, I will be comparing this. It's a really good one to compare to Acolyte as a whole. So Monday, I will be comparing this show to season 8 and just the Acolyte as a whole show in general. So we're gonna do that Monday.
TheorySabers.com.
I mean, let's just address real quick the elephant in the room here. Leslie Headland interjecting Darth Plagueis for the first time on screen as some creepy dude just in the shadows, just so that he can observe the children that have been created from...
Hey, that's my plan. The last few weeks I've been comparing a K-drama to an episode of Acolyte, which nothing can be worse than the Acolyte. But I'm probably going to do that going forward, just review K-dramas between review K-dramas on Monday. Is what I might just do. So that's the plan at least going forward is review on Monday and then whatever we do Tuesday and then figure it and then stream and just ramble on Thursday.
From the Force so that he can go on, and now this is the reason, this is the proof he needs to create life, to tell Palpatine. Imagine interjecting that much of your story before George Lucas's, just so that you can have your eternal stamp of approval of your name put on something that is timeless, so that you have something to add to your resume. I did that, I put Plagueis in there.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Oh yeah, your name's gonna be timeless in Star Wars. I am missing Rian Johnson right now.
That's kind of sad that we're at the point where Rian Johnson is not that bad anymore. I mean, we're at the point where the Attack of the Clones is cinema, and The Last Jedi is actually decent compared to where we are with Star Wars now. I mean, it's also we're at the point where Star Wars is basically dead.
That's how much I'm missing. This show was a convoluted mess. It was all over the place. It not only broke canon multiple times, it interjected characters that didn't belong. Ki-Adi-Mundi wasn't supposed to be born yet, but that's not even the problem. Let's change his birth date. No problem. Let's put it.
Oh, wait.
Now knows that this is no longer a time of peace, which is what his argument was in The Phantom Menace when Qui-Gon came before them with a vergence in the Force, which we also have in this show. So Anakin is no longer the first vergence in thousands of years. We have that here with these two children, not only one, but two. Somehow they created life and they were able to split it into two chosen ones, essentially. I mean, you ask me, like, what constitutes Anakin as the chosen one? He was created from the Force. Force created him, and they did that here with the two twins. That was supposed to be one person, and it now diverged into two. So you have two chosen ones. What else are we supposed to say there? You have a character of May that is constantly going back and forth what she wants to do. 1 minute she wants to kill the Jedi. She's training 17 years to kill the Jedi. Well, no, let's even go before that. He's, we're one and the same under the stars, all this. Then I will kill you. Then, oh, I'm going to train to avenge you with Chimere. Oh, I'm good again. Oh, now I'm going to run away once I see the Jedi are trying to kill you on Brendok. And then I'm evil, I'm good, and then I'm evil. And then now I am, all of a sudden, she's wearing white, and then the other one's wearing dark, symbolized like a complete Parent Trap mix. You got that. Soul, who's literally like canceled because he made the right decision to kill these witches that are obviously freaking evil, have altered life to not only create it from the Force, but to also split child in half and create two, and then turns into a demon with sharp teeth and black eyes, possesses one of their Padawans that they brought on the planet to investigate, and starts disintegrating into black smoke and disintegrates the child into black smoke as well. And Soul does what he needs to do as a Jedi and kills her, eliminates the threat. In those moments, you don't have time to think and ask, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? No, you got to take out the target that you think is literally, assassinating the freaking girl, disintegrating her into black smoke.
They tried to literally copy the SWTOR cinematic between the two twins. They try to do that, I think.
Think quick, otherwise it's too late. The girl dies. There was a precedent already. God, this shit.
They also changed Plagueis on Wikipedia. I just can't find the right page for it.
Oh, it's just literally.
It'd be in this
I can't even call it Star Wars. It was. I don't know what this was. And I wish it was great, man. I really do. I love when Star Wars is fun and good and, upbeat. But this was not that. But hey, it's done now. And I wonder if they'll get a season 2. I really hope they don't because she's going to shit all over Plagueis, man. I think that's probably...
Yeah, I think it was either this video or his one earlier today he showed. Oh. It is boosted. Yeah, if I can find it. No, they didn't change his birthday. They just changed when he appeared, because they just said where he died. I think. Let me check. Yeah, see Oh. Nope, they changed it. No, they have his birth date. Oh no. Before 132. Okay. Okay, that. Yeah. But they do have his first appearance is in the Acolyte. Ooh. Yep. But what is before? What is this? Oh. They've made an entire timeline for the Acolyte is a 132. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Palpatine. Well, when Theory made one of his videos, they didn't even have a birthday yet. So they just had when he died. So now they have a birth date. Ah, boy. Okay. Moving on.
My main takeaway from the show is like apart from everything else,
Exactly.
putting Plagueis in there is the biggest f up you could do. Not only is he at most going to be like maybe 19 years old or 20 years old, if he's even born, but the fact that you now have him serving and creeping to kind of see that okay, these are the ones, these are the true chosen ones, these are the ones that how they were created through the Force. I'm going to try and do that myself. And tell Palpatine he's no longer the original. Please piss off with that. Please go away with that. Literally just licking the fruit and putting it back on the grocery stand. And $180 million, too. Where do you think that money went? Didn't go to the show. And people will be talking about this show for a long time. You thought The Last Jedi was bad? Now you've you brought Plagueis in the mix. Have fun with that. I don't even need to do anything. I don't even need to do a breakdown. I don't even do anything. I just sit back and watch what everyone's going to say about this show. All the reviews, everything, man. Because this episode was the biggest mockery of what George created. Congratulations, though, Leslie. I hope you got what you wanted. Can't wait to see what this week's going to have in reviews. And just always remember, be kind to people. The number one detractor of your points is if you are rude. So just be polite. Be respectful. Never retaliate. Never threaten. But just give your points. Give your points. You know Star Wars. Give your points. Like, no, this doesn't make sense because of this, this, and this. Let the other side say what they want. And eventually, the real violent people will be revealed. As it's always. Oh, what's the rating you guys giving it? 10,000 people voted. 67% say it's a 0 out of 10. 7% say 9 to 10. 8% say 7 to 8. And 18% say 5 to 6. Crazy, man. Calling it Chewbacca is going to be Ki-Adi-Mundi's Padawan in the finale tonight. You know what? That would have been honestly better. Oh, and the politician. So you know a show is full of shit when there's too much shit to even like, oh, I forgot this over here. The politician knows that
there was way too much.
Jedi was to cover up the fact that a Sith has been killing Jedi. He does her friend dirty. His whole legacy.
Also, the sad thing is this actor is actually good. And again, a good actor in a terrible, shitty show.
Flawed man, as she put it, just to cover up the fact that no Sith has returned, just to play into what George Lucas's story originally was, because she knows this is fucking bullshit, because no Sith has supposed to been around for 1,000 years. No deaths have supposed to have been happening for 1,000 years. So Leslie had to twist something around.
They're retconning Lucas's film's own lore. The High Republic was said to be the high of the, according to Lucasfilm, the High Republic was the high of the Jedi. They were unchallenged, undefeated, perfect peace for 1,000 years or whatever it was. This is also after the Old Republic, so they can't touch Revan, thankfully. So even within Lucasfilm's own freaking lore, this doesn't make sense. Within their own lore, the High Republic lore they created.
Around, make the guy look like this piece of shit, and then you're gonna tell Yoda this? Master, we have to discuss something. Fuck off, you will. Literally. Like, you're the Grand Master Yoda can't sense any of this shit. Do you even understand Star Wars? You're telling me Yoda cannot feel or sense that she's lying? Cannot feel or sense that 10 Jedi by now have died? Cannot sense the own turmoil within Vernestra? You don't know Star Wars. Please never, ever touch Star Wars again. And putting Plague, I can't, dude. I can't believe it. I can't believe this shit. It's just so much incompetence. Unreal. But hey, it's over. It's over. You did your thing. $180 million. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Moving on. Can we get that Mando movie now? Copy pasting from The Phantom Menace. It's just so stupid. And then that line at the end, it's like, fulfill your destiny. And then Vernestra saying, with the shackles, like, you won't need those. What did she say? Take the shackles off or something? Take the restraints off. And then she's like, leave us. It's just a lot of like Leslie probably sitting there and being like, oh, that's reminiscent of Star Wars. Let's use that. Bro, make your own.
No, that's reminiscent of our time with Harvey Weinstein.
Freaking story up, dude. Just a whole bunch of amalgamation. It's like a weird Snoke of the prequel trilogy put in and created some weird abomination of the show and interjected characters that should not be there. Oh yeah, so when I do watch parties, I'm not like, I pretty much try to watch them as if I'm watching it alone or with my friends, and I hate talking during stuff. I just like to absorb the media, formulate my thoughts, not be annoying about it. I don't want to like be a showman and be like, oh, I'm on camera, so I better like, oh my god, that's stupid. Oh, why? You know, maybe a few times, if that's my genuine reaction, you know, I give my take always once the credits roll and either praise or expose it. They wasted live action bleeding of the crystal on this shit show. Fuck the goddamn crystal, man. Plagueis. Plagueis. She literally just, oh, let's put Plagueis in there for 2 seconds as this creepy bastard who's spying on them and essentially gets the inspiration, the inspo, that this is the original who created life from the Force. So disrespectful. Just so you can be the one that say, like, I put Plagueis in there in live action. Yeah, okay, yeah. You also put Ki-Adi-Mundi in there in a time of peace where there was 1,000 years, and now he, and the politician knows that the Jedi died, and then you put disrespect to souls. Bro, it's one flawed man. That's all you gotta know. Thank God it's gone. Yeah, I'm probably gonna like go out and get some ice cream after this. This is whack. So it takes Vader immense power and an entire comic to bleed a crystal. And it takes Osha not even 2 minutes. What? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And she's powerful enough to kill a Jedi Master. Maybe he allowed it to happen. That's a very Jedi thing to do.
Maybe he just wanted out of this show, is my thinking. He's like, I've had enough. Please spare me.
Imagine someone doing that to Qui-Gon. He'd be like, fuck off. Even Wikipedia acknowledges. See, look, there's spoilers. Darth Plagueis. Spoilers for the Acolyte. It doesn't put his birth. No birth. No birth.
See? There wasn't a birth prior. Wait, that's on fandom. I am on fandom.net. Okay. So if I go to Legends, though, does he have a birth? Oh, wait. Okay, it just, okay, there's no specific and if you go to the Legend page, there's no specific, they just say between, so they just had to make stuff up. And if you click on canon, then it's that. And they already chose the picture. Great. Violet. Yeah. So there's that.
Has died, which is true. He died in The Phantom Menace. Let's see what they wrote. His first appearance is now in the Acolyte, and that's not Wikipedia's fault.
So they updated it within 6 hours of whenever this recorded. They updated it since then.
Oh man, that's freaking Leslie now interjecting that. Guys, I'm not saying I got hundreds of millions of dollars. I wish. What I will do with Vader Episode 2, and primarily, keep this in mind and remember this for when 2 comes out, primarily Episode 3, I truly hope will resonate with so many Star Wars fans out there, and I think we have something really special. Time will tell. You guys can judge when it's out. Can't wait for you to see it. I could see them twisting things to have Plagueis either taught the witches to create the twins to test well, geez, he's even older then. Create the twins to test.
At this very moment.
Okay, you can add. Okay, bear with me for a second.
Test a theory or something. Plus, if Smilo Ren is training Osha, is there no rule of 2? What do you think? Well, no, that is the rule of 2. So now there's literally 2 Sith. Oh yeah, I forgot to explain this. There's now 2 Darksiders, 2 Sith, that are running around that with a Season 2, Plagueis will probably try and teach or some shit. Darth Plagueis was a legendary Dark Lord of the Sith, trained by Sith Master Tenebrous. At some point during his life, Plagueis acquired the protocol droid 114D. During his time as the Sith Lord and studying the Force, Plagueis acquired a vast amount of knowledge.
So where is Tenebrous during this time period? Is Tenebrous already dead, I'm guessing?
About the dark side and its teachings. At some time, he was studying the twins Osha and May and how they were created. In 132 BBY, Plagueis was present on an island on a planet. While there, he lurked in the shadows as he observed the
Oh, they've already updated the canon. Oh, nah.
Sith known as the Stranger depart from the planet with the former Jedi Varosha and Isaiah in tow. Well, there you have it. It's now in
Ah, no. Did oh, here it is. Perfect right here. They did add it, Nagranol. If you're still there, they added this crap in there. So, I mean, that's the perfect response right there. Is that they added... Yeah, they added it. It's right here. Boy.
canon. And hey, don't send Wikipedia any death threats, because then there's going to be like 500 coming my way, but no one gives a shit about that. I was reading up on when that whole Wikipedia thing happened. I was reading up on them. Forbes did an article on them. It was something like they did like 120 million hits back in 2015 a month. The most I ever did on my channel was 60 million. I mean, incredible business, incredible. My hats off to them.
Well, Nagranol, to be fair, the actor did say he was a Sith Lord, but that's the actor, and, you know, I don't know if he actually is. I doubt it, because, you know, this is past the Old Republic, which Old Republic it was mostly Sith related, where all the Siths came out of hiding, most of them probably. And the High Republic is a time of peace where there's barely any Sith, which leads up to the Phantom Menace, which Sith has been seen for 100 years. Which is why there's only 2 left, because Old Republic, there was a bunch of Sith and Jedi, and then all the Jedi kind of wiped out the rest of the Sith. That's kind of the whole point of Old Republic, is that equally on both sides, and then all the Sith eventually, you know. Paige says, oh, it does? Wait, let me check. Oh, yeah, Sith Lord. Well, yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, again, they claimed he was a Sith Lord, so I guess it would make sense that on the Wikipedia page, they classify as Sith Lord, but it still doesn't make sense. Also, is he a Sith yet in this show? I mean, personally, again, we don't really care. Again, but, you know, I mean, assuming that, Plagueis is a Sith at this point, and also Palpatine, which we heard in the final episode, is also a Sith, that would be 4, actually. Let's assume Palpatine is a Sith at this point. If you consider Osha, but she doesn't have, I mean, she has, would Osha and May be considered like adventurous type characters, since they're not really a Sith or Jedi? But I guess they'd be considered dark side users, so assuming Palpatine's also a Sith at this time period, that'd be what, Plagueis, Khmer, Osha, and May. That'd be, yeah, and so technically she doesn't count anymore, so technically it'd be Khmer, technically 4 still. If assuming Palpatine is a Sith at this point, that'd be 4 Sith members, since Osha technically, I guess, is a Sith now that she was able to bleed a lightsaber within a few minutes, where it takes intense concentration and hatred to burn a lightsaber, and you can't do it while it's in the lightsaber itself. You have to actually hold it physically and use all your rage to bleed the lightsaber red, or the crystal red. So
them for that. They've created something absolutely monumental, and websites pay astronomically higher than YouTube does. So great for them. Good for them, man. Keeping everything up to date. It's unfortunate this is the case, though. It's unfortunate that we now have Darth Plagueis. You know what? I just don't see this as canon. Fuck it. Freaking the Jedi consents if a child is lying from looking at a goddamn iPad to see if it's a ship or a cup or what. But Yoda, the most powerful Jedi of all time, cannot sense if his own Jedi on his council or whatever is lying about the Sith returning and killing all the Jedi, and her essentially saying that our Jedi Master that we trained and have trusted for X amount of years, 40 years, turned rogue and killed everybody. And then the freaking gopher, the gopher needs to lead the band of Jedi. They really looked like Jedi.
I don't think so, because I don't think obviously it was going on while we were watching at Nagranal, so I don't remember if he actually picked it up or not. So I wouldn't. I mean, it could have. I think I heard from like someone while we were talking about it that night. That theory actually did pick it up, but I don't. But compared to the other stuff that's in this episode, that's like the least horrendous thing. Like what, you have Palpatine, a voice that you could, I guess, think is someone else. I mean, that's still really bad. I think he did pick it up, but compared to Plagueis, the lightsaber bleeding, the Force choke, and basically having May and Osha being the reason Anakin exists, and Plagueis, it's probably the least bad one out of all the stuff that happened in this episode, which is a lot.
Jedi, didn't they? To find the elite, powerful, Force-sensitive children that were created by the Force. So literally a gopher has to do the job of Jedi, which can naturally sniff out other Jedi, let alone the most powerful one created in a like, piss off. Tell me you don't understand Star Wars without telling me. Oh yeah, let's spend $180 million to do that, I guess. Okay. I don't see anything as canon besides 1 to 6, and you can't blame me, man. After all this garbage, no way. The prequel trilogy and the original trilogy, that's the only Star Wars I need. And the Clone Wars, that's it. Nothing else. I denounce everything else. All bullshit. Mandalorian is fun to watch, but besides that, Tales of the Jedi, I enjoy that. But hey, maybe make something good, and I'll add it to my canon list. But the problem is that they've created so much bullshit with their canon now that it's all within the same bullshit universe. So for me, I just cut it, separate it, push it aside, and that's it. I guess Anakin's lightsaber was broken since it didn't turn red as soon as he gave into his hatred. Osha is just built different. Yeah, interesting, eh? Why didn't Anakin's lightsaber turn red upon killing of the younglings, or the Nemoidians on Mustafar, or the Techno Union, or anybody really for that matter during Order 66? I mean, you would have imagined that level of hatred where his eyes turned red, his lightsaber would have turned red too. Maybe his anger towards Obi-Wan, but no. You know what? I guess the first chosen one, which was Osha and May, definitely more powerful. TheResabers.com, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. We got a busy week ahead. We're going to be in a lot of shows across the internet and talk about everything. So, love you all. Stay tuned. Vlog part 2 will also be out. Follow me on socials. The rest, you know. Catch you later. Love you guys. Bye.
See you on FNT. All right, yeah. So, welcome to the party, Theory. Like, I think someone replied to him on tweets, like, are you ready to get called every name in the book? Or something? I think that was a comment on YouTube. It's like, is Theory ready to experience every name in every bad thing he's going to get called? And I'm like, wait till he goes on wait till after he's on FNT, then he'll get called everything. He'll get called all the things he's been called, but significantly worse. Yeah, he's on FNT with Mueller tomorrow. That's what Gary said last week. It's going to be Star Wars Theory and Mueller. So it's going to be Stargrift plus other people. Yeah. And then he also Stargrift's also on Monday. So two Stargrifts within a few days. Going to be fun. Yeah, welcome, I guess, to the Fandom Menace. I guess we can say welcome officially to the Fandom Menace theory. I'm sorry this is how it happened, but I guess better late than I guess it eventually was going to happen. I think that's one of the worst, probably the biggest thing Star Wars has done is how they've treated Theory and how basically his descent towards hatred for Disney has become for Star Wars. Like first you blacklist him, and then the whole Last Jedi, then basically said Pablo Hidalgo how they treated him and everything. It's just kind of sad how the descent towards the descent were to the point where he's like everything but 1 through 6 in Clone Wars is canon, and to the point where now I don't think he trusts Filoni anymore. That's how far Disney has fallen to where I get it. He used to be he's optimistic and all, but this is so bad that even he can't be optimistic about it. So, yeah, that's where we are now. So, yeah. We're not at the point where the most famous Star Wars channel, besides the official one, I mean, it's the second biggest Star Wars channel. Besides the official Star Wars channel, it is the biggest one. Now is Against You. It's just honestly, it's just really sad. Like, if you had this person in your corner, it'd been fine. But no, you decide to attack him, attack Geeks and Gamers, attack Hirano. Oh, right, the Mark Hamill thing. That was a murder, what she said to Mark about Mark Hamill. I mean, Mark Hamill is not a good actor. I'm going to say it now. He was lucky to get Luke Skywalker, but out from Luke Skywalker, he hasn't really done much in terms of live action. Alright, so this is going to be the end of the stream. I will be on a show later today. If you know what it is, you know. I'm not going to say it, I'm not sure if I have permission to. But I will be on something later. But I'm going to end it here. And also avoid getting maybe struck like last week I got blocked globally. But personally, that was my fault for showing a K-drama clip that I knew I was gonna get hit, and I knew I was gonna get hit last week for that, but I took the risk. So, yeah. Thank you very much. So, see you later today. Whenever, that might be in a few hours, but we'll see. So I will catch you later. Okay. Oh. Hello. Okay, okay, there we go. Okay. Sorry. Sorry. Do you want... Hello? If you like me talking about this, maybe... follow me on X, subscribe, like, and I will catch you on Monday. Hey, do you want me to? I can't. Okay, so see you next week.
Welcome to the Blizzard Arena.
And the quest for a champion begins today.
The anticipation has been building, and it is finally time. We are live.
Are you
That is a really...
Can you get over the roof there?
Oh my.
Oh my, what a play, what a grab!
Another jump here off the high ground. Super goes forward, but gets stuck up. The EMP comes in, and ding, he rains down hell from above. Here comes Pine. Gets one, gets two. Looking for a bit more, gets another one.
Tuno's down again. That heralds disaster generally for the Fusion, and Carpe wasn't far behind. Prophet, he's killed 4 players now on his own.
From Vancouver, locks him in the sound barrier. Sound the bomb coming in from John. Oh my God, he does it again.
Flutter now moving onto the Widowmaker, taking the clutch into his own hands. The headshot, and the headshot, and the headshot.
Okay, I like this for the Gladiators. They're going to try and circle around. I'm going to call this the merry-go-round because it makes me laugh. Makes me happy, and Shawfall switches to the Widowmaker at just the right time! Oh, the Gravy!
I'm a best person in the world.
Oh my word!
I mean, you could have
told me that you spoke English, honestly.
The fans never thought they'd see this day. It took 43 matches. Feels like a really emotional moment here.
All right. See you. Thanks for watching, and I will see you probably Monday, unless something happens. Something happens tomorrow or Saturday, but I'll see you later. Bye bye.